Hello, and today I want to talk about something a little bit different that I've never done any video like this before on this channel, and that's about these things that you can see in front of you. These, I'll explain what they are in a bit, and how they work and what you do with them. They are made by a company called Stickman Communications, and there's actually a funny story. Well, I say a funny story, it's a story anyway, to go along with these. And the story is that I came across this company and I said, I sent them an email. I said, would you be willing to send me, some products for review? Explaining that I've got this channel and so on. And they said no. So which is fine. So I've, right, okay. So I replied to the email where they said no. They were very polite about it and whatnot. They weren't nasty about it or anything. So I replied saying, I think they sent me a discount code, actually, which I think I wrote down in my notebook. But anyway, that's by the by. And I replied saying, "Oh, thanks. I'm not. I would have tried using the products, and seen how I got on with them and or whatnot. I can't quite remember what was said, in the emails. But basically, I said that I couldn't really afford to buy them at the moment. I hadn't quite got the extra cash and stuff." Just at the moment to be able to buy them. Thanks anyway, thanks for your time, sort of thing. Totally, I wasn't being funny about it or anything. I was just saying that I was trying to say that, get across that I appreciate, sending the discount code and whatnot, but I I'm not really in a place to particularly spend any money on these things. It was just, should you want to send them. So, a bit later on in the day, I was talking to my mum, and this actually came up. And I said I'd sent an email and said, like, what I do. My family are aware of what I do with my channel and whatnot. And they, my mum said, "Oh, right, okay. That's cool. What did they say?" And I said, well, they said no. It's just unfortunate. It's one of those things. She said, right, okay. She says, whatever. And then today, my mum comes along and just hands me this packet, and lo and behold, these were inside it. And she says, after that conversation, she's actually gone on the website, checked them out, and thought that these were good things for me, and I'll explain why in a little bit. But there's the story. That's how it goes. So that's how I ended up with these. The long way around, I guess. But there you go. I wasn't actually intending to go back and buy them, but you talk about something and who knows what might happen. But anyway, that's the story. So, what these are, like I said, they're by the company called Stickman Communications. And these here on the left are communication cards, and then these things here, this is a little thing called a Stickman Communications status square. So those are the two things. The first thing is this, and it is a pack of various communication cards. They're laminated. I think there's 7 in total, and this is a pack of 7. So there are numerous different cards on the website for various different things. This is the Autistic Spectrum pack. I don't know if that's the official name of it, but that's what I'm going to call it. And it comes with 7 cards. It comes with a split ring, to keep them all together. They're nicely laminated, nice full colour printing, and you, like I say, you do get the split ring to keep them all together. That's what the back of each one looks like. I go through them one by one in a bit. So the reason I've got these is just because I am actually autistic. I have Asperger's syndrome as well as Tourette's, and a few other mental health difficulties, and OCD I have as well. So you know, there's a few things there, and one of the things for me is communication is difficult, as it is for a lot of people. But for me, I'm not gonna say whether it's difficult for you or not. It might not be. It may be very difficult. But for me, communication can be difficult, and sometimes it's just easier to be able to go, you know, there you go, look at that kind of thing. I don't want to have to talk, and that's essentially what these things are. So sometimes I actually have to re-record some of my videos. Not always, but sometimes I actually have to re-record them or cut a segment of it out because, like I said, I've got Tourette's, so that kind of explains itself. So yeah, that's essentially it. That's you know, the rundown of why I've got these and how I've got these and so on. But like I was actually just about getting into showing you these. So the first one is this one. You can pause and read that if you want. Like I said, there are numerous cards available on the website. I think they're a bit over £2 each from what I remember when I was on the site. I know this thing wasn't cheap when I was looking at the things on the site. That wasn't cheap. So yeah. So there's the first one. I say the first one. These are actually not in a specific order. When they arrived, the split ring was separate, and you kind of had to assemble this all together yourself if you wanted to do it like that. They did include the split ring. So this is the second one. This is a really good one. Whenever I'm in a public place, I 99.9% of the time will be wearing earphones or headphones, listening to music, just because if I'm being totally honest, I find interaction with people extremely difficult. I'm not saying I don't like people, but I find people a challenge. So to be able to just kind of keep myself to myself, be able to see around me, and you know, have some music playing, not too loud, of course, but just enough to kind of just take the edge off. So that's good. I don't think I've ever actually had anyone say, you know, take your headphones, earphones off. But you know, if I'm like at a till or something, and I'm like going through the checkout or whatever, that, you know, and somebody says, "Can you take those off?" So, you know, I can show them this. So that's that one. Very good. I'm very happy with that one. Please do not touch or stand too close. Again, very good one. Absolutely perfect. I know when I'm looking at things on shelves in shops, and people stand too close, it really makes me feel very uncomfortable and very anxious. So you know, it's not, you don't necessarily, well, I say for me, from my point of view, I don't necessarily need to always show them this, but you know, if I'm feeling particularly anxious, I can show them this and say, you know, like it says on the card, it's nothing personal, it's just personal space and that sort of thing. Sensory overload, again, another extremely good one. Loud noises, smells, anything like that can be very difficult. I know to some people that may sound ridiculous, but to me that is it's a big thing. So, and I know it is for a lot of other people as well. So, they're just a couple of things. Even tactile things, if something feels sticky or something like that. One for me, I guess, is I guess you would kind of put it under the sensory thing, but like touching door handles and doorknobs and things, that kind of ties in with the OCD and germs and things. But that is that's another one. So again, another good one. And again, I really like this one. Sorry, I can't cope with people right now. Don't take this personally, but please go away. I guess you could argue that there is no nice way of saying go away, but I don't think you could put it much better than that. As I said, I find people difficult. I find them difficult to get on with. If I'm being totally honest, I prefer the company of dogs and animals, but dogs in particular. They don't judge. They just listen to anything that you want to tell them. They don't judge you or say anything back or be nasty to you, or they are just there to listen. And for me, I prefer the company of animals. But yeah, there you go. So that's that one. And then this last one, wait, hang on. Oh no, there's two more. There's this one and one more. So this one is, I'm finding it hard to understand you. And then it gives you some instructions. I'd say this one is sometimes relevant for me. I'd say this would probably be the one I would use the least out of all the ones here. So that's probably why I've put it closer to the back in this arrangement that I've got. So yeah, it's still one that I think is a good one to have. It's just not one that I would use much, I don't think. I do understand it though. Avoid figures of speech, hints, vague statements. I do prefer people to be blunt and direct in what they're saying. But over the years, I've kind of learnt a lot about figures of speech and people hinting at things. So I find that a little bit easier than I used to. But still a good one to have. And then the last one is I stim. Now, again, I probably put this one at the back because in public, I don't tend to stim. It's more when I'm in, when I feel in a more safer environment that I tend to stim. This can include fidgeting and flapping, I would say mostly. Spinning, not so much. Chewing, not so much. But you've got a few on there to give people an idea of what it might include. But again, the fidgeting and the flapping for me, rocking. I'd say rocking least out of the three there, but I do rock sometimes. So yes, and it just says please don't make a fuss about it. For me, that's just how I roll. So there you go. And that, I believe that's the last one, yeah, and then we're back to the beginning of these. So this was a pack. I'm not sure. I can't remember. I do remember seeing it on the site, but I can't remember how much it was. I don't think it was particularly cheap. You could say that in theory you could, if you'd got a laminator and laminating pouches and a printer, that you could make your own of these. And yes, you could, absolutely. But if you don't have those things, then I don't think this is a particularly bad option to go for, considering the wide variety of different cards that they do have. And these feel very solid and rigid. They're not cheap. You know, the clear colour, and yeah, just very nice. So they're good. I'll definitely be keeping them in my bag with me now whenever I'm out, because I think there is a use for them, definitely, for me, absolutely. So there you go. That's those. Now the second thing is actually very good. This is very good, and this is it's difficult to pick a favourite out of the two, to be honest. Just based on looking at them and seeing what sort of use I might have for them, I would say this one may be a little bit more for me. Just because, for the reasons I'm going to explain. So what it is, it's just a little. I believe it's like I think it's done on a 3D printer. It's just a little plastic, and this is, according to the website, I do remember it mentioning something about this being medical grade plastic. I'm not sure what that means, but there you go. It feels like it's 3D printed. I think it is, and it's got a little metal clip. I guess you could call it a crocodile clip, I guess. And basically, there are these tokens which are sold separately and individually. They're double-sided, and they have different conditions on them, like mood or how you are coping, or what's going on. So we'll take a look through them here. I can't talk right now, so that's one. I'm not too bad, but I need to be careful. Condition management in progress. I like that one because that's kind of saying, look, there's something going on, and it's not ideal, but I'm kind of dealing with it. So I like that one. I'd like company and recharged. So if we go, like I said, they are double-sided. So if we go to the other side, we have recharging on that one. We've got I'm okay to talk on that one. I'd like to be alone, like that one as well. On this one we've got I'm okay, so that's a good one to have. And then on this one, I'm not too bad, the reverse of that one is I'm struggling, please be patient. That's when literally everything is completely burdening you and overloading you, and proceed with caution, sort of thing. That one. So they're really good. I like those. And like I say, it's just a little 3D printed thing that has a clip on it, and you can clip it to your bag or your clothes. You can clip it to your pocket. I would say, I would advise, make sure it's somewhere where someone can see it, especially if you want somebody to be able to see these. So for example, if I say I'm okay, and what you do is you just take that, slide it in at the bottom like that, and then it goes in like so, and you've got that, and then you can clip this to your shirt or jumper or whatever, and it's just a subtle little it's just like a work badge or something like that, and it's just a little subtle piece of kit to say how you are and how you're feeling, without actually having to remember, or without actually having to say to somebody, I feel like this, I want you to. This is just like a little signal, and I really like the idea of it. Some design choices that I would have personally changed. I wouldn't have changed much, but the one thing I would say is these are pretty secure in here, as they are. They're fairly secure. They're not going to fall out. But just to make that a little bit more secure, I would have personally put this loop going across. I would have put that here or on this side, so that these actually slotted in from the side, like this, and then with gravity going that way, it's less likely to drop out. Like I say, I don't think it would drop out anyway. It's just a little design choice that I would have done differently, but then again, I didn't make it. And to remove each token, you just press down a little bit and pull in the direction of the opening, slide it out, and switch for whichever condition you want. So again, very nice. You've got the logo on the back of it there. So yeah, very nice. Like I said, this one was quite expensive. I remember. I don't remember the exact price when I was looking on the site, but I think it was fairly expensive from what I remember. You know, I would maybe argue that maybe they're overcharging a little bit for this one. Overall, I would probably put this one at about... It's difficult because there isn't really anything else like it on the market, really, so it's difficult to say what's a fair price and what isn't. But for the materials used, I'd probably say... I don't know, it's difficult. I would probably say £15 was a fair price. If you think that's expensive, I believe it was actually more than that for the tokens and the thing itself. So, you know, thank you, Mum, on that one. But it, you know, expensive, I think. But if you like what you see here and you really think you could actually get some use out of the items that I've shown you in this video, then absolutely get them. I'll leave a link in the description to the website. You know, for the sake of being honest, there is a when you actually sign up to, you know, make an account on their website, they do send you an affiliate link. I think that's just bog standard for everyone. They send you an affiliate link, so if you do happen to click on the link in the description, go to their website and happen to purchase something, I will get, I think it was 5% of the value. So you know, just to be honest there about that. So yeah, that's the video. Like I said, it's not something I normally do on this channel, and I've never really gone into... well, I don't think I've ever mentioned before about the fact that that I'm autistic, or that you know, that I have some communication issues and things. So it's one of those things that I just felt it was good to do a video on. I wasn't actually expecting to do a video on these because of how things played out. I did end up doing a video on them, as I explained the story at the beginning. But yeah, nice tools. I would say that I would personally find a use for them. Absolutely, in my daily life. They're not for everyone. But then again, not everybody requires the same things in life, so that's just the way things are. So again, like I said, nice. I think they work well. Maybe a little bit overpriced, but you know, I suppose you could argue what isn't these days. So yeah, with that said, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I'm sorry it's been a long video. I wanted to go through them in quite a bit of detail, just so you could see them very clearly what these things are here. And yeah, so I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you've watched all the way to the end, thank you very, very much. I hope you've enjoyed it. Subscribe if you want to see more videos from me, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.